What I would tell Shawn Ryan. I would love to have a conversation with Shawn Ryan. Shawn Ryan posed a question on social media, and that question was, is remote viewing real? Well, the answer is, of course it's real. It's real because consciousness is embroidered into the fabric of the universe. So everything that the universe does involves consciousness and involves communication. Every moment, every second, all the time, the universe is communicating. As human beings, we're here on this earth to have an experience in this physical body, and our consciousness is filtered through a brain that has 5 physical senses that are given to us for the purpose, I feel, of filtering out that greater field of consciousness. You just couldn't have this physical, it would be overwhelming to try to have a physical experience and have the noise of the cosmos, the noise of all consciousness reverberating in your head. Hi, I'm Dick Allgire of Future Forecasting Group, and I've been remote viewing for 27 years, and I've had incredible experiences, and I've gained a lot of knowledge about consciousness and remote viewing. I was a TV newscaster for over 30 years, but for the last 15 years of my TV newscasting career, I was leading something of a double life because I learned about remote viewing, and yes, it was sort of interesting to go cover the big fire, to go to the big murder mystery trial, to meet famous politicians, to see the breaking news of the day. But after you've done that for a couple of decades, and then you realize that consciousness is way more than what they've told us, the daily news grind kind of loses its luster. So for the past, for the last few years of my TV career before I retired, I was working as a reporter by day and a remote viewer by night. And the remote viewing was way, way more interesting. Remote viewing was released to the general population in the mid-1990s when they revealed the Stargate unit and said, well, yeah, we had this one remote viewing unit at Fort Meade, and the Army was using this in conjunction with the CIA, and we put like $20 million into it, but it really didn't work, and so we abandoned it. The truth of the matter is there were a number of other remote viewing programs, and I know that for a fact because I trained with a former member of U.S. Army Special Forces Intelligence, a Green Beret named Glenn Wheaton, and he taught me for free for 17 years the method that they developed. Now let me talk a little bit about various methods of remote viewing. What was given to the public was a version that they said, well, it's not, we shouldn't really call it remote viewing because you can't really see anything. It's not really viewing. You don't ever close your eyes. You don't ever see the target. It's more like you get these ideas about it and you write the ideas down in a column and you describe the target, but don't try to see it. You can't see it. And so that was what the public was led to believe was supposed to be remote viewing. And then it was released in such a way that various schools of remote viewing fought amongst themselves to say that, well, my form of writing conceptual words in a column is better than your form of getting conceptual words in a column. And everyone, instead of remote viewing, just fought. What I was trained by the method developed by U.S. Army Special Forces is that, yes, it is remote viewing. You can see the target. The first thing we do in the method that I was taught is to close your eyes and try to see a visual imagery. Other forms, do not close your eyes. No, don't dare close your eyes. But it is supposed to be an experiential visual event if you do it to its full potential. And I've had that experience over and over and over again. I would never compare myself to Joe McMoneagle. I think Joe McMoneagle is probably the greatest remote viewer ever. Well, actually I think there are some as good as him, but they haven't gone public yet. But in the public eye, Joe McMoneagle is the greatest of all time. However, I am, while not being in Joe McMoneagle's league, I'm probably, well, I know I am, the most published remote viewer, meaning I've had more video sessions, more paper sessions, more published sessions, more debriefs where we've shown my actual work under double-blind protocol. We have like literally hundreds and hundreds of videos on our site, which is futureforecastinggroup.com. So it is remote viewing, and you're not supposed to fight about it. What we did at our group was we got together a bunch of viewers using different methodologies and said, let's not fight about whose works best, because on any given day, somebody might get more valuable information using their method than what I get by seeing the target. And some days I'll do better, and some days someone else using a completely different method will excel. So we work together, and we gather data and we present it on a weekly basis. Every week we're doing target after target. We present it to the public, and it's been an amazing exploration of remote viewing. We've taken it places no one else has. I don't want to criticize the old timers from the military units, but if you watch them on podcasts and on you listen to them on the radio show and hear them at conferences, they haven't really done anything new in the past 30 years. They haven't like shown us any new methodology, any new way to use it, or any really new sessions. It's just like, well, back in the day at the unit, we looked at this and we figured this out, and it's all the same old stories. Our group is using it to look at cryptocurrencies, to look at future events, to explore historical anomalies, to find hidden truths about humanity. So we're going in a lot of different directions. The thing about remote viewing is this: if any valid information can be obtained via remote viewing, then all information about a target can be obtained via remote viewing. If you can say that, well, it's wavy across and it's looping over and there's a life form there, you should be able to see and understand that person and experience what it feels like to be in the water at the target. It should be experiential. When anyone excels at any given activity here on this planet Earth, if you show an exceptional aptitude, if you stand out above the rest of the pack, I'm going to be careful here, you're observed. You're brought under observation and control. There are now we're getting into the really interesting part, Shawn Ryan. There are supra-national agencies that keep an eye on everything that goes on. And anyone that shows an exceptional aptitude, as I said, is brought under observation and some form of control. I did some remote viewing sessions about 10 years ago that were quite stunning. And there was one in particular that I published that was taken down. It was like, nope, banned, can't do that. And I was approached and someone said, Dick, you have self-illuminated. You've learned quite a skill there. You need to be careful with that. There's some things you should know. And so that began a series of conversations over the past 7 years where it's kind of a mentor-tutor. I understand a lot about the world, how the world is administered, why we're here, how we got here, what the purpose of this is, what is the accounting system of humanity, what is the legal framework of nation states and what's the purpose of nation states. And what's even more interesting is the fact that it's about to all change. We're going to undergo a fundamental change in the administration of humanity, the administration of the planet Earth, where we're going to a technological future. And I understand and can outline where this is going and how it's going to be brought about and what the ultimate result will be. And it's maybe not the most comfortable conversation to have, but it's a very important conversation. Where we're going and where technology is going to take us and what the purpose of humanity is going to be in the future. And this is a little bit based on remote viewing. I have a lot of interesting remote viewing stories to tell. I've seen some really interesting targets, and I've had some experiential events in remote viewing that have left me shaken to my very core. But some of this other information is more from conversations I've had rather than the remote viewing. So where we're going is startling and very, very interesting. And Shawn Ryan, I'll pay my own way to come meet with you. Or better yet, I'm in Hawaii. I'm in a beautiful, beautiful location. We'll buy you a ticket, and I have cameras and recording equipment here. We can set up a podcast right here in Ethereum Place, and we'll have a very interesting conversation. I could do 3 or 4 hours, like no problem. So that's some of what I would tell Shawn Ryan. I would have a very interesting conversation.